Brian Wright, BrianWright732.com, fitin.com, PHITIN.com, Daily B94. Don't be a douchebag. All right, I threw it down really early here. I said don't be a douchebag. So why am I saying don't be a douchebag? Or how am I meaning don't be a douchebag? Really what it comes down to is you can't be everything to everyone. And if you attempt to be everything to everyone because you're just trying to extract as many dollars out of someone as you can on the front end, you're being a douchebag. I'm sorry. You have to be who you are. You have to be your most authentic self. You'll hear me say this over and over and over again. And you can't change that to get dollars, because the success factor is not getting dollars. The success factor is creating long-term relationships that are going to be mutually beneficial, that is going to create wealth on both sides, or at least create value on one, wealth on the other, but mutually beneficial, going into an honest relationship. And if you're going to be this chameleon who's going to shift and change depending upon the audience, you're really not being authentic. So basically you're being a liar to extract money, which means you are a douchebag. I hate to say it like that, but it is the truth. I believe it was Aristotle who said it, or Socrates. It was one of them. You could look it up. Call me out on it. The statement was, a friend to everyone is truly a friend to no one. And that is the most truthful statement I've probably ever heard. And I've heard a lot of truth, and I've heard a lot of BS, but I measure that one at least top 3 of statements I've heard in life. Because if you are who you are, you're going to have enemies. If you are who you are, you're going to have people that can't do what you do, and people that can do what you do. People that won't benefit, people that will benefit. It is the way it goes. Everyone is not a one-size-fit-all for anything. So be who you are. Find the target audience that can benefit from what you do, can afford what you do, and has the time to do what you do. It's really that simple. I've said this before. This is not the first time I'm talking about it. I'm just using the douchebag term and getting a little bit deeper into, kind of the ethical aspect of who we are when we are pushing our brand, our product, whatever. So you've got to accept the reality that not every person you talk to should give you money. Nobody's that great. So target your audience. Understand the people that can benefit. Understand the people that can afford. Understand the people that have the time and the physical ability to participate. These are the people that you need to focus on, and you need to let the other people go. And coming up with the strategies and the tactics to extract income out of people that can't really participate doesn't do good for anyone. It doesn't do good for the marketplace. It doesn't do good for you. It doesn't do good for the people you're talking to. It doesn't do good. And now, why does good matter? If you're a scumbag who just wants money, good doesn't matter. But I'm going to just throw it like this. Good or bad, doing the right thing is going to always acquire more for you. So even if you're a douche who just wants money, doing the right thing is still going to make more money from you, for you, not from you, for you. The object is long-term game. This is truly a marathon. If you are sprinting to acquire wealth, you may acquire a mad amount now, but you're going to burn through that in time. If you want to have a consistent level of income that's going to increase over time and develop wealth that's going to be long-standing and that everyone in your life is going to be able to benefit from even after you're gone, you've got to run the marathon on this, which means you really do have to understand who you are, what you provide, what its value in the marketplace is, and then constantly communicate that. Constantly target and retarget and shift and change within your niche, not shift and change person to person. It's making a commitment to being you 24/7 and understanding your value in the marketplace and having the balls. Yes, you have to have balls. I'm sorry, ladies, if you don't have balls, then you have to have the courage. But you have to have the strength, the courage, the conviction, the level of understanding to walk away when it's the wrong opportunity or the wrong person, the thing that goes against who you are. And I'll give you a weird one on that. So I have a friend of mine I talk a lot about my friends, and I got to say one thing. I did come to the realization yesterday that I don't think I've ever valued my relationships in this world as much as I has as of late, because by looking at the teachable moments of communicating with the positive people I have in my life, I've come away with a tremendous amount of information that I've actually been able to provide. If you've looked at the last few videos in particular, the stories I've been telling have been inspired by communications I've had with other people. You know, people that are close to me that I talk to a lot about ideas. And so it's really good that you have good people that you can communicate with. So back to story time about staying within what you do. So I have a friend who has a business, and he's actually a pretty religious dude. You know, he's a church-going guy, goes every Sunday, raises kids along those principles. That's his thing. That's what he does. And I don't fault him for it. He got an opportunity to invest money in a porn shop. It was basically like a $15,000 investment that could have turned into $100,000 in profits in a very short amount of time, because these kinds of businesses do really, really well. And somebody was pitching to him saying, look, it goes against your principles, but you're going to be able to put your kids through college. And he said, this is not the fit for me. And he battled with it for a minute, because the amount of money that he could acquire was pretty substantial for the time of the commitment, and he really could put a kid that was about to go to college through college with the money he would have pulled out of this business over the first couple of years. But then his personal belief system wouldn't allow him to do it. So he wouldn't change who he is and what he believes just to acquire, because he knew in his mind it was dirty money. Look, I am not judging anyone by either standard. Religious or not religious, into porn or not into porn, whatever you want to do, go do what you want to do. But make sure it fits into your value system and it fits into the way in which you operate. So for him, as the person that he was, if he invested in that porn business, it would have been the dirty secret he wouldn't have wanted anyone to know about. How are you making your money? He couldn't even figure out how he could justify that to his immediate family besides just himself. So he stayed within his zone. The money that he had that he could have invested in that, he then started to say, well, there's investment opportunities there. What else could I do? And he actually then acquired another business like his and brought it in, expanded his business. And he made way more money by investing back into himself and his ideas and his businesses and his strengths than going to something else that would have been quick and easy money, but it would have been short-term money, and he would have felt dirty doing it, the whole 9 yards. So the point is, if you have time and money to invest it into the most authentic aspect of who you are, because that's where the long-term gain is going to be. If you're going to invest your time into people, and that even is on people that are potential customers, invest it into the people that actually can afford and benefit. You have to understand who you are. You have to understand who you will work with best. These are the foundations of your future success. Do not consider going outside of your moral compass. Don't go outside of your strength zone to try and acquire. Understand the things that you do and make sure that they fit into your worldview. And I'm not saying live in a bubble and don't be open to ideas. But again, if you're a religious dude and being, given an opportunity to get into porn, it doesn't mesh. There's a lot of things in life that have that kind of counter whatever, but a lot of things are counter to each other that it won't fit into how you live and your worldview. When I was teaching kids classes more specifically, I used to always say to myself, if I can't stand in front of my kids class and tell them what I did, I shouldn't do it. It was just like a barometer for me, because I was teaching kids. And so for me to be a successful instructor of kids, I had to live a certain way, make choices a certain way, so that I would never be exposed for something. So you need to be able to operate so that if your life does become transparent, there's nothing for you to worry about. It's not going to negatively impact your ability to make a living, take care of your family and whatnot. So being your most authentic self is the foundation to everything. Understand who you are, understand how that integrates with a marketplace, understand who the targeted audience that could benefit from who you are is, that's going to accept who you are, and you're not going to have to be this chameleon changing your strategies and tactics and prices and whatever to just meet that. Last thing I'm going to say, because I'm going a little long here, is here's the douchebag sales guy, the guy who calls you up and tries to figure out how much money you've got. And then they try and sell you on something, and they come up with tiers on the fly to fit your needs. If you can afford $10,000, they're magically going to have a $10,000 product. If it's $5,000, they're going to have it. If it's $500, they're going to have it. It's $19.99, they're going to have it. Their only job is to get money out of you, and they're not providing you anything. They're just getting money out of you, locking you into a timeline to pay this money out, and that's all they want. They're acquiring. There are a lot of these companies. They do not last that long. They're in, they're out. They're stealing from the marketplace. Do not be that guy. Charge what you need to charge that's justified by the level of skill or the quality of what you're providing. Be who you are, and if people can't afford it, walk away. If people can't do it, walk away. If people are not going to benefit from it, walk away. That is the ethical way to go about this, and this is the long-term successful way to go about everything. Be who you are, provide what you provide, and understand who's going to benefit. Later.